Hello everyone and welcome to new video. MC Mora here. Today we're talking 5 gameplay changes that I would make if I was in charge of Street Fighter 6. These are my opinions, they are very subjective, you are obviously free to have your own. Let's not waste any more time, get straight into it, and the first one have to do with power-up moves, install moves. I'm talking something like Ryu's Dungeon mode, Lily's Winstock system and all of that. And this is a glaring omission from Capcom, and if you play Ryu, you probably know where I'm going with this, but I would make it so that Ryu would still have his regular fireballs and Hashogeki once he has the charge. Currently how it works is without the charge Ryu got like typical Hadouken, light, medium, heavy, different strengths, affect the fireball speed and all of that, same with the Hashogeki, but once you build the charge you will get like the Dungeon Fireball regardless of which strengths you did. This is me pressing the light and this is the heavy. It's absolutely the same, and the same for the Hashogeki. The thing is, you typically give up Oki to obtain the Dungeon charge, so this is like a typical combo for you. I would charge the Dungeon mode and I didn't press Lily on wake up. So you have to let go of your offense to build this, but the issue is you throw one fireball and it's gone, and it's not worth it. You rarely see Ryu players going for Dungeon. And this is a problem because typically once you get Dungeon, you wanna use it in combos. If I got like a basic combo with Ryu now, like I can do pretty good damage, and even meterless you can do pretty good damage. So if you go for the Dungeon charge, you are now a Ryu that don't wanna throw fireballs and wanna aggress the opponent, and then you would have to get in, and it's really stupid. So what I would change is once Ryu has the charge, the light fireballs will still be the light fireball, the medium strengths would be his regular heavy fireball, and the heavy fireball would be the Dungeon charge fireball. So heavy would be the charged up version, medium would be the regular heavy, and light would be the light fireball. This way Ryu would have his charge, when he happens to get the hit, he hit confirms and now he gets big damage meterless, and he still has the neutral, and it will make it worth it to go for the power-up. Not every character is somewhat nerfed by the power-up state, like Manon's medal system doesn't really nerf her, but in the case of Ryu and somewhat for Lily, I would change that. Alright, so let's address the first elephant in the room, and that is obviously Drive Rush. Whether you like it or hate it, I think we can all safely agree that it's a very overtuned mechanic. It's kind of ridiculous. Let's check out this very real sequence. This happened all the time against DJ. DJ is gonna do a Drive Rush sequence on block, air slasher, right? So he did a Drive Rush, jab, back heavy kick into heavy air slasher. Take a look at this. Take a look at my drive gauge and DJ's. DJ got almost like a third of the drive bar he's bent back, and me, the defender, actually now have less drive than DJ because I happen to block. And the Drive Rush actually gave him advantage, and when he happened to land this and I get hit, he gets combos, and like a good DJ would hit confirm that back heavy kick into EX way and he gets mad damage. So this means that it costs very little and it's very rewarding for the aggressor. I've seen some people demand crazy nerfs for Drive Rush, like make it cost more, make it cost 2 bar. I don't think this is the issue. The main issue with Drive Rush is that the risk reward in it is far too skewed towards the attacker. The defender is screwed, right? Because even if I like jab check him here, I am not gonna convert into anything meaningful. Like you get something like that at best, while DJ get a monster combo and I don't attack his drive. I think that's wrong. What I would change about this is I would make it so that when you happen to hit him, it will actually be a punish counter. So let me set it here to be like a punish counter, and now when I hit a jab, I'm getting like decent combo at him, and I also, you know what, I have the reward of him now losing drive. Right, obviously if I hit him with something like more powerful, like a crouching medium, he would lose even more drive, etc. Like you kinda get the point. I think this will even up the risk reward, because now the defender, if he happened to check it, he gets rewarded fairly. let's put it that way. Let's be honest, he gets rewarded fairly because drive rush at stands right now is way too favorable for the attacker. Like if DJ actually like hit confirms and does a meterless combo, hey, right? Let's check this out, right? I didn't mean to freeze it on that frame on Manon, oh my god. But check out this, like, this is a meterless combo from DJ and he almost got his entire bar back. It's ridiculous. It had to be made. I think it's a change that Capcom will make actually, and I really hope that they do. Alright, so let's now talk about the second biggest elephant in the room. This one is the most controversial mechanic in this game. Some people absolutely despise it, some people think it's totally fine, and that is parries, obviously, because perfect parry in particular can really swing rounds in Street Fighter 6. Now, I would change parries in two ways. I have seen people asking for like crazy nerfs. I've seen someone wanting like the perfect parry or like the whiffed parry to have like the Ryu V-skill recovery from Street Fighter 5, which would be nuts. Characters like JP, Guile, etc. would be totally busted if like we gave them that, because you need to parry against them all the time. But I think there is a smart change that I would make. If for example I whiffed like an EX move with Rashid here, I did his EX Fireball. Take a look at this, I am recovering drive almost immediately. If I whiff a parry, take a look at this, I don't get drive right back. There is a little bit of cooldown before the game start making Rashid regenerate his drive back. Now the issue with this is if I tap forward, I immediately start getting it back. It's like the game forgotten that I whiffed a parry. And this is what I would change. When you whiff a parry, I wouldn't give you more recovery, I wouldn't make you more punishable. Currently the only way to really punish someone is by like throwing them. I wouldn't do any of that, but I would freeze your drive regeneration until that penalty cooldown timer is over. Make it like 3 seconds or so, you don't get to regenerate drive. So the only way you would be able to regenerate is drive rush, but if you happen to do that and you get checked, you're punish countered. That way people wouldn't mindlessly do something negative or like whiff something and then do the parry. Parries are the Hail Marys of Street Fighter 6 right now, unfortunately. We all thought you were gonna whiff something into drive impact, but really it's like whiff anything and then drive parry. Wishful parries are too powerful in this game, right? I feel like that is a fair change. It's something that is already in the game, but for some reason isn't implemented, in my opinion, like well enough. The second change I would make is for the perfect parries themselves. Here I would knock down Ken and he would wake up perfect parry. Why is he doing a jab? I did a jab on his wake up. I am -8. -8 here means that Ken get to throw me back in the corner. And this is the main issue with drive parry, right? Because perfect parry here can swings around. You will get thrown into the corner or combo, side switched, whatever. Corner carry is immense. And now you're in the corner against Ken and have to guess for your life. All of this because you went for a jab on wake up. +8 because you parried a jab. I think that's ridiculous. I think against jabs, you should be +2, 3. You have the advantage, but you don't get a combo or throw punish. This is the biggest change I would make. Because this also would deter from, I don't know what to call it, the somewhat scrubby gameplay. Because there is a meta right now of doing something negative, like say this Rashid medium kick, right? I can throw it out there, it is -3. Right? And then I will fish for the parry. And if I happen to get the parry, I would knock down Ken and now he's in the corner and have to guess for his life. I think perfect parries on light would fix all of this, like take your turn or not, and would also make the meaty jab not as much of a risk, because it's kind of crazy right now. You will still get like really big frame data on like overheads, on like blossom block moves that are typically slower like heavies, meaty mediums, but on lights -8 and the entire round being decided by perfect parrying a jab. I personally don't really like it, and I think these two changes would make parries much better in this game and much more fair. So let's now talk about my final suggested change, and since we kinda nerfed parries, I feel like we need to buff defense. One of the major gameplay elements of Street Fighter 6 that is very present is throw loops, right? You throw someone in the corner and then you can loop it to death. The entire roster, with the exception of Honda, Lily, and Chun-Li, have throw loops. Everyone else either have meterless or like drive rush throw loops, but they have throw loops, which is a problem. Here, if I set Zangief to try to wake up with a jab, even if he does, I will just walk up and throw him. I'm getting a counter hit throw, and it doesn't really matter. He is getting throw loop to death. I think this is a big problem with the game. I don't think it's very fun to use yourself. It doesn't feel good when you win that way, and it feels awful when you lose because you got through loop to this. It's just way too much of a guessy situation. I personally don't like it. What I would change is very simple, but I think is very good, and that is make it so that you can't through loop someone regularly. Like this +17 advantage, I would make it like +7 or something, so that Cammy isn't able to walk forward and throw you again. But if you happen to get a punish counter throw, you actually now have that +17 advantage and you get to throw loops him. That way, if the opponent is going for the wishful wake up parries, right? If the opponent is trying to like guess parry and gets the, you know what, like side switch the table on you, you actually now have the throw loop, right? I think this would be fair. Punish counter throws, reward it more, it does good damage, but make it so that you can throw loops this one. Regular parries, I don't think you should get punished that much. I'm not saying the attacker should have no advantage, but being able to consistently throw loop someone regardless of if they did a wake up jab, if they did a wake up parry, if they did like a wake up drive impact, I think that is not a good design. I think this would punish parries enough. It would make the risk reward on wake up parries better in my opinion. Now if the defender gets a parry right, he have good chance to switch things, but also the attacker would have a good enough reward for punishing the perfect parry. And that's about it. I would love to hear your thoughts about these changes in the comment section below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Do you think these would be good changes? Do you agree, disagree? I would love to hear about it all in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.